บรรยากาศโลกอันนี้มนนี้ขึ้นข้างบนสวยสวยนะนี่ถึงเดียว
But do you know about the battle? Yeah? Do you know who was fighting? It was the Scots and the English. Big armies that fought down there. Who
นี่
can
เป็น
tell
ประ
me
วั
who
ติศาส
won?
ตร์ของที่นี่ค่ะ
You really got to shout though. You won! Scots won! Hooray! Thank you. Right, come round this way. Come round this way if you're joining us. You're going to join us? When you come this way, just so we target the same place. So that's lovely. The Scots did win, and what's happened, it's actually made me think of the times that we weren't fighting the English. See, a lot of people get the wrong idea about the Scots, don't they? They kind of think the Scots, we fight the English all the time just for fun.
Do we not?
Sorry?
Do we not?
No, we don't. No, see, the thing is, people do think that, and it's not true. Probably they think we've got nothing better to do than fight the English, and it's not true. But see, just more than 10 years before the battle that happened down there, Scotland was a very different place, and our king at the time was Alexander III. I don't know if you've heard about him, but he was a very fine king. Under his rule, though, Scotland was at peace and prospered with England. Largely because our king was married to the King of England's sister. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so our Queen Margaret...
I don't know history and all.
So that's Queen Margaret was our queen, and she was Edward Longshanks, the King of England's sister. And it really only started to go wrong for Scotland when Queen Margaret dies, but she's just a young woman when she dies. After she dies, both of their sons die, and then Alexander dies too. I hope you're keeping up. I know it's a lot of people dying. But Alexander, he died, and you might have heard of it, it's quite a famous death, but he fell off his horse. It doesn't sound very dramatic, does it? His horse was on top of a cliff at the time. And it was in the middle of a storm, in the middle of a terrible night. And when he fell to his death, his body was found the next morning, and he was only 1 mile from home. I think there was a wee bit of this going on. But more tragic for Scotland was that he died without a male heir. Remember I said his sons had already died, so that was the last of the ancient line of Scottish kings, going all the way back to King David I. Okay? He had one surviving heir, that was his granddaughter, just a wee girl. She was only 3 or 4 years old at the time. She was another Margaret. She was Margaret the Maid of Norway. Can you guess where she was?
In Norway.
Yes, thank you. It's very obvious, but some people don't pick up on it, so I really have to emphasise that she wasn't here. And I know you're an intelligent bunch, I know you are. And you'll understand when I say it's a very dangerous time for a country when you've got an empty throne. Okay, so politically you're very, very weak, very vulnerable when there's no one on the throne. And so our nobles, the King of England and Eric of Norway, they all agreed the best thing for Scotland would be to bring the wee girl here. Bring her here where she can be looked after, raised in Scotland, and when she was old enough she would then take the throne for herself. And that's kind of what happened. As I said, she was 3 or 4 when Alexander died. She was about 8. She's been about to come to Scotland, and she dies too. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, some people will react like that to grief, I know. It makes you laugh, I know, sometimes. But this wee girl, she's coming to be queen, and she doesn't make it here at all. She takes ill on the journey and dies when her ship's tied up in the harbour at Orkney. But we've been waiting for her to come, haven't we? She was 3, 4 when she was... when her grandfather dies. She was 8, she comes on a boat and dies herself. Scotland now needs a king fast. And of course these are exceptional circumstances. You don't expect all these royal deaths, do you? You don't. So, because of this, now any nobleman, that's someone with royal blood, they could now lay claim to the throne of Scotland. And there were 13 claimants came forward. Okay, 13 people who all want to be king. Do you think they can agree? No chance, is there? They all want to be king. So, what they do is, our nobles, they invite the King of England to come and judge who'd be the best King of Scotland. See, it's made you laugh, hasn't it? See, I think it sounds completely mad, doesn't it? No? It does, doesn't it? But you see, our nobles thought better. They thought, well, at least the English king, having been our old king's friend and brother-in-law, at the very least the English king will be fair. Aye, right, fair. Who does he choose? He chooses the weakest of the 13. He doesn't choose Robert the Bruce. He was one of the 13, didn't he choose him? He chooses John Balliol. Okay? Everyone knew Balliol was the weakest out of the 13 of them. So why would the English king choose him, do you think?
Because he was weak.
Because he wanted to. He wanted a weak king, didn't he? He wanted someone he could manipulate. Somebody he could influence. Somebody that would bend Scotland's knee towards England and hand over to England Scotland's land and wealth. However, Balliol, well, he wasn't as weak as Edward hoped for. In fact, Balliol, well, he revived Scotland's old alliance. You'll know about the old alliance between the Scots and no, French, yeah, Scots and the French. Now, the English king, Edward Longshanks, I don't know why, but he didn't seem to like the French, did he? I don't know why. You might know, being a historian, I have no idea why. He didn't like them, did he? He comes along, he commands their king to raise a Scottish army to fight for England against the French, and Balliol says no. He's the weak one. He refuses the King of England. Oh no, see, that's bad, isn't it? The English king doesn't like being refused, and so, to teach the Scots a lesson, he sends his army north, they attack the Scots, and they slaughter 8,000 Scots. 8,000 Scots wiped out at Berwick, and it's not a battle, not like the battle that happened down here. No, this is a massacre, just a bloodbath on the streets of Berwick. In response to this, though, Balliol does raise a Scottish army. But to fight the English, not the French, but our army is defeated, as is quite common in our history. Our army is beaten at Dunbar. Now, after this defeat, I get that Balliol was stripped of his crown, he's exiled and imprisoned. I can understand that. What I find difficult to getting my head round is why, after this defeat, there would be 2,000 of our own nobles and clergy, our people, bow, surrender and pledge allegiance to the King of England. Our own people do that. Our own people. So now there's no one on the throne again, but now things are worse, because now we're ruled by an English king who sent English soldiers and magistrates to every town and village right through Scotland to enforce English laws on Scottish people. Oh, and English taxes too. Does it sound fair? Doesn't. It's not just me, is it? It doesn't sound fair, does it? No. And I'm not here to make a political statement, honestly, I'm not. That's not my purpose in life at all. I do want you to understand, though, what Scotland was like up to about a year before the victory we had over the English army at the foot of that hill. In that year, though, someone came along to turn Scotland's fortunes round. Can you guess who it was? Can you? Is that not a big enough clue? Of course it was William Wallace, wasn't it? See, a year before the battle, no one had heard of William Wallace, no one was interested in him. Everyone knows something about William Wallace now, don't you? I know each and every one of you will know lots of facts, or have heard lots of things about William Wallace, and I can only really tell you what little I know. William Wallace was born in a wee village in the west of Scotland. It's called Elderslie, and he was the second of 3 sons. Not an important fact, really, is it? But interesting, because it lets us know that William Wallace grew up knowing he was going to have to make his own way in the world, he was going to have to work hard for a living, because he knew he wasn't going to inherit anything. Any land or money would go undivided to the firstborn, the eldest son. So William Wallace was studying hard and working hard to become a priest. I'll repeat that, just in case you think you misheard me. William Wallace was going to be a priest. Now you think of all the things you know about William Wallace and imagine him as your priest. Eh? I'll be honest with you, I don't think he's been a very good priest, do you? Really? No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure his heart would be in the right place, but he was a man with a quick and violent temper, always in trouble for fighting the English soldiers that were persecuting his fellow countrymen. He then gathered like-minded people round him, and he started attacking the English convoys on supply routes. Not big battles, though, because he didn't have that many supporters then. Not then. But he made himself a real nuisance to the King of England, so much so he was declared an outlaw, and he was to be arrested. And they knew William was hiding at his father-in-law's house in Lanark. So they sent the sheriff of Lanark, he's called Heselrig. I think it's quite a strange name, Heselrig. He takes his soldiers along to the house and they set the house on fire, but William's not there. William's already gone. But his wife's there. Marion's in the house. Now she runs from the fire, as you would do, wouldn't you? But Heselrig, he ordered his soldiers to have her grabbed, thrown back into the burning house, and she dies in the fire. Now, William Wallace, I've told you, was a man with a quick and violent temper. What do you think he's like when he hears this news? He's in a rage now. He takes 30 men, only 30. He marches up to the English garrison at Lanark in broad daylight, boards up the English soldiers in their own barracks, and you know what's coming, don't you? Eh? He sets them on fire, doesn't he? He then hunts down Heselrig, the sheriff of Lanark, drags him to the centre of the town and kills him. Well, he does, he kills him in front of all the people that are there. But that's because of what's happened to his wife, of course. You understand that, don't you? But now, what is William Wallace to the English? He was an outlaw before. What is he now? He's just a murdering, treacherous Scot. But to us, he's a hero. It's funny that, isn't it? You see, Scots are fighting back now. Oh, aye, and more Scots have joined us. We continue attacking the English garrisons through Scotland, even the north of England. We'll carry out raids. We'll steal the English weapons and armour from them. And let me tell you this, it's not just this part of Scotland either. It's right through. See, in the far north, the people there, they follow Andrew de Moray. You heard of him? You should have. He's an important man. De Moray is a nobleman. And he's gathered a huge fighting force around him. So when William Wallace and Andrew de Moray met for the first time at the siege of Dundee, they joined forces together. Aye, well, aye, it looked like Scotland had the makings of a decent army once again. Just as well, though, because when we're there, news arrives that the English king's sending his army north to put an end to the Scottish uprising. So Wallace and de Moray confer and agree with the march here to this hill that you sit, stand, lie on. It's called the Abbey Craig. To face the English in a mighty battle for our freedom, the Battle of Stirling Bridge, and Scotland won! Hooray! Oh well, be like that. Oh, you. Wait, excuse me, can I help you? Aye.
So you won the Battle of Stirling Bridge, did you, son?
Aye, what's that to you? You're going to make some of it, like.
Oh, as an Englishman, I just have something to say about that.
Oh, really? You're going to fight me with a stick, English, are you?
I'm going to knock your head off, Scotsman. That's what I'm
so.
going to do.
Not with that, you're not, no.
We'll see, eh?
Aye. Look, the battle's finished. You lost. Why don't you just put this stick away? Oh, you really want to do this, do you? Really? Come on, Andy, come on! Come on!
What are you doing, man?
What's wrong with you?
I don't want to hurt you, son. I've had enough of this. Look, I'm sick, I am tired, and I'm hungry, and I'm lost. And I want to get back home, that's all I want to do.
Well, this is very well, but we Scots have no reason to trust you English any longer, so you explain yourself. What are you doing up here in the Abbey Craig?
Is that what I'm?
Aye.
I've been hiding here since the battle. I'm not staying up here to starve to death, no. I heard voices have decided to show myself. And throw myself upon your mercy, if you like.
Well, let me get this right. You're telling me you fought in the battle and yet you live. Nah, see, I thought we'd killed you. I thought you English were all dead.
I don't understand anything they say up here. I did.
Oh, what does that mean? What, something like we're all dead, does it?
Aye.
Well, in that case, we're not I
I can see that, can't I?
But I know you've no others that crossed that bridge and still live. When I was struck down in the battle, I just stayed down so the Scots would think I was dead.
Because you're a crafty type, aren't you?
Well, that's it.
Aye.
But after the battle, the Scots sent men down to collect weapons and armour and such like. They took me sword and stuff, but they didn't know I still breathed. Didn't find this little fellow either, did they?
Hey, you just stay there.
I'm not going to
Stay
fight
there.
for that. So look, I did not ask to come here. I was forced, I was conscripted into the army of the Earl of Surrey. We will march north and bring down the Scottish uprising. But it looks like we've failed, don't
Aye,
we?
you failed alright.
The King's not going to be best pleased by that, no,
Oh,
isn't
but
he?
a great victory for the Scots! Hooray!
Oh, unbridled enthusiasm for victory of Scotland.
You just behave yourself.
You shut it.
It was a great day all the same in our struggle of your land from Edward's rule. For too long Scotland's been ruled by England's laws, with Edward's soldiers and magistrates policing us in our own country. But the people of Scotland have rallied to Wallace and to Murray. We've got an army now too, but it's different to yours. We're not conscripted to fight in battles we care nothing about. We fight for one common cause. Freedom! Hey, laugh all you like. Freedom. And we believe we can win it too.
Yeah, old man.
Well, we will.
Listen to
We
yourself.
will.
You know the problem with Scots, don't you?
Oh, please, I'm sure you're about to tell us.
The trouble with the Scots is that they should be more like the Welsh and the Irish and know their blooming place.
Aye, you tell him.
No,
See,
yes, I said.
you should learn to control that English tongue of yours, or you won't need to pretend to be dead ever again.
What about this Wallace then?
Well,
He's nothing but an outlaw.
He is not.
He's a traitor against proper
No,
king,
he's
I
not.
said. He seems to have a lot of support up here, though, amongst all ignorant peasant rabble.
I'm not going to warn you again.
And the men that fought us, attacked us, they were not a rabble.
Aye.
You Scots have got a well-trained army, brave men. So why do you choose to follow this outlaw lad, Wallace?
He's only an outlaw to you English. To us Scots, William Wallace is a hero. Like, he was brave enough to fight back against English soldiers being here in our country when no one else would. He's brought a new hope to these dark times too. The hope we can live in our own country as free people once more. But I don't suppose it's your fault, is it? I mean, if all you've been told about William Wallace is he's some kind of an outlaw, then you've been misled, haven't you? Aye, misled.
I've been misled about a lot of things, son.
Aye, that I can believe.
I was told to come to Scotland to bring down this uprising. I'd never been to Scotland before. The lad said, be careful when you go to Scotland, because you might have to fight underneath blazing Scottish sun.
Aye, very good. That's a good one, aye.
And then they said, anyway, you won't have to fight. You'll not have to fight.
Now,
When your Scottish army, your miserable little army, saw the might of England, you would run away back up to those highlands where you belong, a lot of you,
you really thought we would take a look at your army and then we would run away?
like rabbits.
Really? Rather than fight for our country?
But when we crossed that little bridge, we came onto a great big marshland. It's soft. Rivers ran round in great big loop, and Scots had cut it off with long spearmen. Now everybody's stuck in the mud. Heavy horses, no use. Can't charge, can't dismount. And us soldiers fared little better, floundering about in the mud in our armour. And then Scots ran, but they didn't run away.
No.
They ran straight towards us, screaming their blooming heads off. I've never seen anything like it in all my days, man. It would have struck fear into the heart of bravest man, which I'm not. They got so ferocious, as lads tried to run back towards river, but it's only a narrow bridge. Men were trying to come across, it was chaos. And all of a sudden, the Scots started firing burning arrows into it. They soon caught a light, it burned, collapsed into the river. We knew then the battle was over. We were all going to die, weren't we? But not me.
No, not you. Well, we waited on this hill, the Abbey Craig, from here. We could look out, we could see the size of your English armies that began to assemble on the far side of the river. You could all see how outnumbered they were, and your army was a fearsome sight. But we trusted our commanders. They knew what they were doing. They had chosen that battleground. What you didn't realise when you came across the bridge to this side of the road, you were all walking right into our trap. Our commanders knew your soldiers in armour and your heavy horse would be useless on the waterlogged marshland that lay on this side of the river. On the north shore, you'd hardly be able to move. Never mind charge our spearmen. But here, what happened the first time you came over? You came across, didn't you? And then it was you, the English army retreated. You ran away. We were laughing and jeering at you. We thought you'd lost your courage. What happened?
It was clear from the beginning our commanders had no idea what they were doing.
Exactly
That's
what
what
it looked
happened.
like, aye.
How shall we attack? How shall we cross the river? Oh look, there's a rickety old bridge that leads to a bog.
Aye.
That'll be grand, we'll go that way. They were told as clear as day. 4 miles up that river, there's a place. It's shallow. Old Roman ford, the Kildare-Eadston or something. Kildare-Eadston.
Kildare.
Ah, what you said. You bring your horses out there in numbers behind you on firm ground, and we would have smashed your army
you think so?
up to the mud.
Well, you think so?
I
do you?
know so.
Aye.
It'd have been a better idea than coming over the bridge, wouldn't
Aye, well, it would have been if you'd come around that with your heavy horse attacking our army to our rear. Aye, that would have changed. Did you?
We didn't come that way, no.
No.
Because the second in command of our army was nothing but a...
It was a what?
Aye.
A what?
He was nothing but a taxman.
Taxman.
Taxman, what do you think I was going to say in front of folk?
I didn't think you were going to say
On this
taxman.
Sabbath, taxman's bad enough. Hugo de Cressingham, isn't it? He's the Chancellor of Scotland, isn't he? Taxman. He's a glorious.
Aye.
He said, I'll not compliment a rabble of peasants by flanking them.
He said that, did he?
I'll take horses across that bridge and they'll run. But he didn't know what kind of mess we were getting into, did he?
No, he didn't. But who was mad enough to be a taxman in charge of an army?
Well, it wasn't me, was it?
The Cressingham. He was the most hated man in the whole of Scotland because he was brutal. Oh, and relentless in the way he went about gathering Edward's English taxes. He died in battle, but he died quickly. That was better than he deserved. So when our men came across his dead body and they recognised who it was, what they did to him seemed only fitting to me because they skinned him.
Did he say skinned it?
Aye. They skinned him exactly as he had skinned their purses or their meagre resources.
Get away with that. Skinned him?
Aye, oh, then they made a sword belt for Wallace to wear out of his skin. See, that's what happened to that dead Englishman. So you've been warned, haven't you?
Aye. I've been warned, all right. I've been warned about this. See you lot up here.
What?
You're nothing but a bunch of savages.
Aye, maybe.
A lot of you savages, I said.
Aye, maybe, but you're going to make a bonny belt. Aye, you will.
Anyway, it was a job well done. The Cressingham was hated just as much by us as
Oh,
you.
really?
It's his beat, taxman. Thrifty man, he doesn't spend enough money. It's all his fault we failed anyway. You said
Aye.
when we came across it first, we went back, that's right enough. They get onto the bridge, we'll attack the Scots. And then they say, come back, come back. Later on we found that the great commander, the Earl of Surrey, had overslept.
Well, he slept in for the battle.
Overslept, I said. The Cressingham ordered the attack without insulting him.
Aye.
Well, we weren't too happy about that, were we? Because you wanted to talk to you Scots about this or that. Something.
Aye, right enough. That's when you sent clerics into our camp with papers you wanted Wallace to sign. Terms of peace. That was a right waste of time, if you ask me.
That be right,
Aye.
son. Would it appear the Earl of Surrey wants to bargain with you lot?
Bargain. That fancy word for bribe.
No, it's not. I said bargain, I
Aye,
said.
bargain.
They sometimes do that before fighting it.
Oh, did he?
They say it stops all unnecessary bloodshed and that, you know.
Oh, aye.
But it didn't matter anyway because Wallace just laughed at them. Laughed in the face.
Aye, because he could read their terms, that's why. He threw the papers back at your priests and he gave them this message to take back to the Earl of Surrey. He said they hadn't come here to talk, that he hadn't come here to be bought either. He was here to free this country. And although we were all outnumbered, we would rather die in our feet than live any longer on our knees. Oh, William Wallace spoke for all of us. That's how we all felt about you English soldiers being here uninvited in our country.
And so, for the second time, without any thought, we crossed that bridge to the destruction that awaited us.
Aye, well, many good men died in the battle. And you English, your army fought bravely, I'll give you that. There are too many brave Scottish warriors died too, or are badly wounded like Andrew de Murray, their great leader, still alive. But I doubt for much longer. It's thanks to them victory is ours. We can't stop now. Quite all right.
Thank you.
We'll continue and clear every English soldier from our land. With our nobles appointed Wallace and de Murray joint guardians of Scotland, in recognition of their leadership. As I said before, many fear de Murray won't survive his wounds. And if that's the case and he dies though, all of Scotland is ready to rally to Wallace. So we'll keep on fighting until we've won Scotland back for our people. But you told the truth earlier when you said your king wouldn't be happy. He's going to send another army, isn't he? Isn't he?
Of course he'll send another army. He'll not let this go unanswered. You, my Scottish friend, best look to your defences.
Aye.
You've not seen the full cruelty of Edward of England.
Oh, is that right?
If you're going to use that thing well, let's just get it done, shall we?
He comes with another army and we'll be ready and waiting for him. Don't you worry about that, and you. You just make sure you're not with him. Pick it up, you'll need it. Go on, take it. Just stick to take them in hand. Oh, now, before I change my mind.
Oh.
Aye.
Well, you'd let me go.
I've no reason to hold you here. Every man is entitled to his freedom.
Well. Right, I'll go. Thank you. And when or if I get back home, I'll not be back up this place again.
Now you make sure of that.
There's only one more thing, though. Can you tell me how to get off this hill? I just keep walking around in circles. I don't know. North and south, everything looks the same to me.
Just follow the path. Well, it'll lead you out of the woods into open countryside. If you're prepared to take your chances there, then God be with you. But you remember, don't come back here. There's no second chances for you.
No, don't you worry about that. No. You'll not see me again, Scotsman, you can be sure of that.
Oh, I can be sure I'm going to see you very soon.
Oh,
Aye, you're away the wrong way.
oh dear.
I did say the path.
Open countryside, you said.
Path.
Right. You'll not see me again, Scotsman. I can be sure of that.
You make sure of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and patience. We hope that was informative, somewhat amusing, and not too long-winded. If you have any questions,
Thank you.
on Scottish history, we're no experts, but we flatter ourselves we have a broad knowledge of the subject. Ian has disappeared because he's going to go and get a better sword. This is a wee hand and a half sword, but it's not a particularly good one, and we know some people like to take some photographs of swords. So Ian's going to go and get a double-handed claymore, so a really beautiful sword that William Wallace is holding above the monument as you go in, not the one that's inside, which is larger, and it's also the one he has outside the Edinburgh Castle, standing next to Robert the Bruce. So Ian should be appearing even as I speak, and if you want a photograph with this large sword, you're more than welcome. Ah, fine sword, Sir Ian.
Indeed.
Does anyone want a photograph with it?
ขึ้นข้างบนแบบ go upstairs of the William Wallace monument. It's quite. See the stair. That's the other side. Going.
I'm lying about a lie. I think they're getting anywhere between them. I'm lying about a lie. What's wrong? I'm just being a turtle. Oh my gosh. Like right at the beginning, right as... Are you really busy now? Because I'm really busy now. Right? I'm like bumping against people.
You can find something.
I'm going to get on the ground.
Look at the stair. And I couldn't.
Thank you.
Manage. You go past me, Fisher. Mata. Namaste. 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 Going back.
Excellent, Demo. Okay. I wonder how many stairs there are. I don't think we should look that up.
This is room. For the
Louis,
whole of the
you down? Okay, we're coming.
ชุดใส่ลุกใส่ขวานใช่ไหม
Go back to yourself. Hey, you can talk. You can tap it over
ลุกเอามองดูว่ามีใครดูมีทหารมันโลกมาแล้วมองเหมือนประตูชื่อหน้าต่าง
Al mensen mee zo even of zo kunnen.
เป็นบันไดขึ้นไปอย่างเงี้ย This stair is very narrow. I like to look out on this. Look outside to see. That's how high it is. I don't think going down will be fun for me. It's going up. The wall up here. The wall up here. ขึ้นไปThat's a second floor. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Sweet.
You're recording the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only my feet.
With your feet.
Yeah. See very much.
She can't get the T-shirt otherwise.
Yeah, that's right.
Oni mogą wtedy przejść, a oni schodzą w dół.
Nossa, tô nesse
No bo tu nie ma miejsca.
esse correio top floor. ขึ้นข้างบนสุด โอ้ไม่ใช่ข้างบนนี่ชั้น3 Lower shape.
Tu prawie nie ma atlet.
Ale patrz, to jest tu, patrz.
Myślę, że lepiej.
Daj się, tak.
Next one คิดอันนี้ก็ดีอันสุดท้ายเหมือนกับบันไดเขาคงจะกลางคืนนี้เขาคงจะใช้ที่อะไรตะเกียงน้ำมันน่ะ How can you see at night when you go down on the stair? But using kind of lamp. Candle. It's the top floor. Top floor. This one. So you stand up here and looking down.
Oh man, that's coming.
Hey.
I took some food.
Down.
Look down in the room. A beautiful view from here.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, different details, isn't it?
Yeah.
Describing all the rain, all the snow details. Look at this. I love the view outside. It's really beautiful.
Sorry?
That's a windmill over there. That's a windmill over there, isn't it? Beautiful mountain. Look at those views there.
That's what I did. Look at it.
Yeah. So what's they see? They're talking about William Wallace and he tried come from a normal family and then he become priest. He's fighting against the English. So he gathered a small army and build up. That's how Scotland become independent from the English.
Kinda. Aye. We never really got full independence from day one.
From day one. But he was saying that
Aye.
they are start to become independent from when Scotland become independent totally. When it won. But they still the Scotland become a part of England.
Still trying to get independence these days, but that wouldn't happen.
Yes.
There's too much involved in it.
But that's why you become a United Kingdom, Kaya. But this is like Scottish, Wales.
Scotland, England, Ireland.
Yeah, Scotland and Wales, OT. But basically, I think that the Scottish people don't like English people because one of these reasons. That's what it is. That's how it started off.
Yeah.
So Scottish don't like the English don't like Scottish.
Just about.
Just about. I love this ceiling. See all the detail there? It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Nana, fine. Look at this beautiful view. The sunset over there.
That's all you by the time you posted it.
So you tell us you like it.
He says in the book.
We'll have a look again. It's beautiful. สวยมากวิวสวยมาก What do you think of the view? Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful sunset as well. I hope everyone enjoyed it and stay safe. I hope you have a good day and thanks very much for watching. ขอบคุณมากๆนะคะที่ติดตามแล้วก็ติชมมีอะไรติชมก็ว่ากันไปตามคลิปนั่นแหละสวัสดีค่ะDetail. I love this. I keep looking at it. Look at all these. ขอบคุณมากค่ะก็อันนี้เป็นครั้งแรกที่อยากลง YouTube อยากโชว์ว่าในสกอตแลนด์ในอังกฤษก็มีอะไรภาพสวยๆพวกปราสาทเก่าๆพวกมาร์เก็ตหรือว่าพวกกฎประเพณีของเขามีงานมีการอะไรก็พยายามจะลงถ้ามีเวลาจะลงทีละคลิป2คลิปอะไรเงี้ยก็คงจะไม่ได้ทำบ่อยๆหรอกค่ะเพราะว่าทำตามที่เราทำตามมีตามเกิดเพราะบางครั้งเราก็ไม่มีเวลาบางครั้งเราก็มีเวลาเรามาเที่ยววันหยุดเราก็จะทำขอบคุณมากนะคะสวัสดีค่ะ